Friday night NWSL showdown. Back-to-back losses for Louisville. Meanwhile, a 5-game unbeaten run for Utah. But as we take a look at the live standings, it's Racing Louisville just a couple of points off a playoff spot right now. Utah looking to play spoiler here today. Hello, everyone. Alongside former NWSL midfielder Jordan Angeli, I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Well, Jordan, this was a difficult week for Racing Louisville. Savannah DeMello had a medical emergency on Sunday against Seattle. That game was abandoned, and they played the second half on Tuesday.
It was a difficult, not just to see that for this Racing Louisville team, but I think for everybody in NWSL. First and foremost, so happy that Sav DeMello is okay. We hope you're watching this in the hospital, Sav, and you're getting the treatment that you need. That's the most important thing. For this racing team, though, they had to refocus quickly, and that has been difficult because it's very emotional to get back on the road and have to perform here tonight. So we'll see what they've got in store for themselves.
Well, this is the statement that Savannah DeMello released. She said she's lucky to have her family around her as she awaits testing right now. And as you said, Jordan, we just wish the best for Savannah DeMello. This racing side, though, they've been giving up goals late in matches.
And the thing is, they've been in really good positions. If they can find a way to finish the goals that they've created early, they wouldn't be dropping 10 points, Maura, at the end of games. That would put them right now in third place, right underneath Washington. So it's about mentally staying focused, and when you do that, you're going to rely on players like Taylor Flint, the veterans in this team who can set the tone, win the ball back, but also the organization from the back line and Janine Sonis. And then on the bench tonight, they're going to have Lauren Millay back, which is going to help this team just with the voice, her presence, especially during this week and all that it's brought.
Well, Utah finding their stride late in the season, 5 games without a loss.
This Utah team is reinvigorated after the break, something that they love to do. And they have done this through putting themselves in situations higher up on the field and believing that they can find the back of the net. It's been a lot of Paige Monahan, but I've loved that this group has found a way. They are believing in themselves, and it is evident in what they've been able to do with results.
Utah doubled their points since the summer break in the last 7 games.
And the biggest thing, goals conceded from 29 to 4, and I think a lot of that has to do with Kaylee Reel being back and her leadership in the back line, but this whole team has committed to the defensive side, and it's paying off.
We are joined by Utah's Paige Monahan. Paige, 3 goals in the last 3 appearances. What have you unlocked?
Yeah, I mean, I think before we go into an interview about me, I just wanted to say that on behalf of Utah, our thoughts and prayers are with Sav DeMello and the team, and we're just so grateful that she's doing well and just wishing her well. You know, there's bigger things in soccer. So before I talk about myself, we just wanted to put that out there that, you know, we're sending her love and prayer to her family, and the team that was there, and just shout out to Seattle's medical team and Racing Louisville's team being able to help her.
Doesn't surprise me that you say that, Paige. You're a leader for this team, but in this league as well. You've played with Sav DeMello, and you know how important it is for us to all stick together in these hard moments. Let's pivot to tonight. You guys are on a point streak. How do you continue that momentum here at home to get a result?
Yeah, I think it's been a focus on process. You know, I know myself included, you could sometimes think about the end result. Like, I want to score tonight. I want a goal. I want this and that. We want to win. We got to get points. But really, we found that when we focus on our process, when we focus on the little things, the big things happen. So that's my focus and the team's focus, which has been a shift for us and obviously has worked for the best.
Well, the last time these 2 teams played, 5 goals combined. So more of that, please. Lineup's first kick coming up at America First Field after this.
Ion, it's on.
Welcome back to Sandy, Utah. Getting ready for this NWSL showdown between Racing Louisville and the Utah Royals. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll begin with Utah. No changes from their victory against Houston last week.
And why would you change anything when you beat Houston 2-0? It was a really dominant performance from Utah. Look for Zornoza and Tejada to keep the tempo going centrally, but then you have Lacasse, Solorzano, and Monahan with good threats in behind.
And here's the starting 11 for Bev, Yanez, and Racing Louisville.
And this Racing Louisville team can be very direct at times. They have to bring Courtney Peterson in as the center back. Aaron Wright unavailable in this game, so it'll push McKenna Morris into the starting lineup. She'll look to get up and down the flanks, but it's really about Emma Sears and how quickly they can get her the ball and how effective she can be in the final third.
Yeah, 3 changes from that road loss to Seattle this week. Green kits on the road for Racing Louisville, the gold kits at home for Utah. Lauren Aldrich is our center referee. Brad Jensen on VAR. And we are underway. Mandy McGlynn, who has an assist this year, gets things started. And it's keeper to keeper, bounces to Jordan Bloomer. McGlynn has the most saves in the NWSL this year. Jordan Bloomer has the second most saves.
These two teams give up a lot of shots. So, Maura, you said it in the open. These two teams played to 5 goals the last time they met. We're feeling like we deserve a little NWSL After Dark madness.
Yeah, that was June 6th at Lynn Family Stadium. And already Kayla Fisher in the 18 looking for the cross. Stopped by McGlynn. So it is Flint.
Yeah,
and there's a whistle.
It was offside. Kayla Fisher doing a good job of stretching the back line earlier. This is something that Bev Yanez wanted to make sure that Louisville was doing. Fisher just offside, and it's Kaylee Reel who holds the line really well. And then after the second opportunity doesn't pan out to anything, that's when the referee opts to call it offside. But right away, Louisville with some good energy. I think that in general, this has got to be one of the hardest weeks that these players have experienced. So to come out with that, being on the front foot, going after this game, trying to get a victory, and it's exactly what their teammate would want.
So Lozano the other way for Utah. Plays it back here. Tejada fires, and she's over the crossbar.
All right, well, we're right down the opposite end. Tejada's inclusion in the team over these last 3 games has been instrumental to how they're keeping the ball. This just a little ambitious from her from that type of distance. But there's a battle you're going to see a lot today here, Maura. Those two in aerial duels.
Oh, the last time these two teams played, Tejada got her second yellow in the 73rd minute. And so Utah was down a player, resulted in a game-winning goal from Sarah Weber, for Racing Louisville. Taylor Flint has been a menace for this Racing Louisville side. She has 4 goals and 1 assist, 59 interceptions. That's the most in the NWSL. I'll look at McKenna Morris, who gets the start for Racing Louisville, her second with this club since being traded from Washington in August.
These teams are also second and third in the league in number of duels, so I think you're going to see a lot of that. Ella Haas just said her shirt was getting pulled. There's going to be a lot of confrontation in this match, but I think it's going to be the team that avoids those moments. That, yes, you're going to have duels. Those are going to pop up, but can you keep the ball? Can you bypass some of the confrontation, especially for this Utah team? That's one of the things I feel like they've done really well after the break, is find different ways to possess and be a little bit more patient with the way that they progress the ball forward.
Robino, Zornoza. Well, this Utah side coming off a 2-0 win over Houston at home. Kaylee Reel scored in the 4th minute last week. Paige Monahan also in the first half. And they did not allow Houston to get a shot on target in that game. Robino. Most tackles won in the NWSL, or the outside back for Utah. And O'Kane swipes there.
And if we had a award for most improved in one season, Robino would be that, because I think at the beginning of the year, the way Utah was playing, it was so expansive, and now Robino feels more comfortable. She can get into the attack, but it also allows her to get into some 1v1 duels, win the ball back, help Utah in defensive positions without so many 90-yard sprints, which was what she was doing early on this year.
Well, the Spanish international was playing abroad in Europe, in Germany, and in Spain. And Jimmy Coonratz told us earlier in the year she just wasn't used to the transitional style in the NWSL. Morris up ahead for Sears, the leading scorer for Racing Louisville with 7 goals. He'll pass, nobody home on that one. Robino. Tejada hesitates there, being pressured by Racing Louisville and Borges. And it's skipped to Thompson. Donnie Thompson, the Danish international, plays it long, and it drops through.
Pretty good pass.
Lacasse. Squares now on the wing. Tanaka. Sears. Jolted to Flint, and Zornoza slides into it. I hit her hand in the process.
Yeah, but her hand was, it was her, what's that, like kickstand. It was resting on the ground, and this is not supposed to be a handball. I don't know. Who knows what a handball is anymore? It definitely hit her hand, but
it's kind of like a catch in football. It's,
yes.
It's up for debate.
We move on.
There's Bev Yanez, her second season with Racing Louisville, trying to lead this team to the playoffs for the first time in club history. Right now, after today, they've fallen below that playoff line. That can change with a victory. That's been a difficult and emotionally exhausting week for Bev Yanez, and she was feeling a little under the weather as well, but just telling us she was really happy that she got a chance to see Savannah DeMello after the game against Seattle. If you're just joining us, DeMello had a medical emergency on the pitch against Seattle on Sunday and was taken to a local hospital. That match was abandoned, and then they played the second half against Seattle on Tuesday, and it was a 1-0 loss for Racing Louisville. And frankly, it feels like they just kind of want to erase that from their mind, that game, that moment, and it came down to a 90th minute game winner from Jess Fishlock.
Yeah, it's an odd situation. You don't often prepare for just 45 minutes of a game, so that made it strange. But what you said earlier, this team being able to see Sav DeMello in a better state, I think helped everybody's spirits.
Lacasse, Monahan going for her 4th goal in as many games.
Chloe Lacasse just adds a different element to this Utah team because she's a one-track mind. She gets the ball and she wants to go in a 1v1 situation, and this is going to be a handful for Janine Sonis. Playing as an outside back, not typically in that position, and Lacasse has the target of Paige Monahan, who is feeling it. And sometimes when you get on a goal streak, you just have this sixth sense of where to be in the box at certain times. And I'm sure she's hoping that continues to pay off here as Utah finds a good look there through Lacasse.
Well, Monahan going up against her former side. She played for Racing Louisville in 2023 before joining this Utah side. Fisher swerving through. Sears drives against Robano. And it's tackled away.
That's excellent from Robano. And she is not going to win this speed battle, but she takes the right angle and she leaves her feet right at the precise moment to block it, push it out for a corner kick. And you can't teach this, or if you do, it takes a long, long time. And we weren't seeing that type of tackling from Robano early in the year. And she has quietly continued to be vital for the Royals.
Morris on this corner kick, the outswinger header, Flint! It's a goal for Louisville! Taylor Flint, a well-executed corner kick. And it's her 5th of the year.
And McKenna Morris gets an assist, her first here in Louisville, and she plays this to perfection. If you're an attacking player in the box, this is how you want the ball. Driven, hard. All you have to do is redirect it. That's why it looked pretty easy for Taylor Flint. It didn't feel like she had to do a ton there, but get her body in the right position, the right direction, and it is just away from the outstretched Mandy McGlynn. What a great goal by Taylor Flint. 5th goal for her on the season.
Well, it looks like Aldrich is speaking to a VAR and Brad Jensen. So it looks like this goal is going to be called back for offside. Yanez, the face of confusion.
Yeah, and we get an extra look here in our monitor that we'll get to you as soon as we can. Yeah, here it is. It's actually Ellie Jean here, who they're gonna deem is in a position that interferes with Mandy McGlynn's sight lines. Was she? Hard to tell from that angle, to be honest, Maura. I think you need more of an angle from behind the goal or looking towards the face of the goal. But offside, no goal, and that's a bummer because you could see how that lifted the spirits of this racing squad.
Haas, the rookie. Well, it's been 2 straight losses for Racing Louisville. Fisher trying to slice it back. Real says no.
It's been a couple of games now where Fisher hasn't started and she's been eager to get in behind the back line, just a little too over-eager at moments. And here's a look from a different angle where Ellie Jean is just deemed to... I don't think she's interfering with Mandy McGlynn there. I do not think that is the correct call. And if I were racing, I would be disappointed in that because Mandy McGlynn had a clear line of sight to Taylor Flint where the ball was hit and could have easily gotten there. It was just that well placed. That's a bummer.
Oh, we'll see how both of these teams respond after that goal is called back. Lacasse trying to make some noise. Sonis plays it back to the midfield. Tejada. Thompson being defended by Morris. Played wide off the cross. Drops through to Sonis. Tanaka settles. Moves it to her left. Mina Tanaka! Oh my goodness! Taking fancy footwork to the next level.
We are not worthy, Mina Tanaka. Everybody on their feet, jaws on the floor. And there's an overload here. They pull McKenna Morris out, so then they can get Yanni Thompson, or actually Kate Alfava, in an advanced position. But my goodness, the patience, the poise, the calm of Tanaka in this moment provides a spectacular goal. One of the best we've seen this season. And the entire Royals team with the biggest grins on their face to see Mina Tanaka get her 3rd goal of the season and the best one yet.
Well, how quickly things can change. Racing Louisville thought they had the lead. Taylor Flint's goal called back. And Mina Tanaka with what I think will probably be goal of the week in the NWSL.
Yeah. Easy. We haven't seen very many yet, but...
Well, it's the 2nd straight game in which Utah scored in the opening 15 minutes. Well, this Utah team has 10 points. In the last 7 matches since returning from the summer break, they had 5 points in the previous 13 games for Jimmy Coonrotz in his first full season, 2nd season with this Utah squad. I think it's important to note that the last time these two teams played in June, 8 players were out for Utah.
Yeah.
And now they only have 3. Getting a lot healthier. Someone like Lacasse is back in the starting 11. Kaylee Reel as well.
Yeah, they're getting Paige Monahan. It's just been the first half of the year for Jimmy Coonrotz was difficult. He barely had a roster to pick from, and we had them right after the break, and he said, I'm excited to be able to pick from my whole team and actually see what we have, see what relationships work out. And you know, I think they're still tinkering with that. They're now using Tejada and Zornoza back together, something we saw a lot last year at the end of the year when Utah went on a run. But when this squad is healthy, the starting 11 and even I would say through 15 is pretty solid, but they weren't able to rely on that. And now that they have played some really good football to their strengths, utilizing their outside backs. And you see that in the goal. Some of those rotations and the fluidity and the way that they go forward.
Zornoza! And a whistle before that set piece. Conversation with Tejada and Flint. Now Tejada, 23 years old. You see this again.
They're just trying to get back onside the Royals players, and Tejada bumps Flint there.
Zornoza off her left foot, serves it up, off the header. Fava, excuse me, is wide.
It's okay. Oh, I got you. Del Fava. Yeah, she hit that one wide. No problem. Great targets, and just an interesting setup there from Utah, trying to just trick the back line of Racing. And this will be interesting for Racing Louisville. They go down early after thinking that they have the lead. How do they manage these types of moments where now they're chasing? Oh, they'll do this.
Bouncing through, Fisher steps past the defense. Kayla Fisher blocked by McGlynn. Mandy McGlynn says no. Now weak side, Thompson. In transition now for Utah. Lifts, Flint intercepts. That's it back to Katie O'Kane. Sonis. No, Racing has had to mix up their back line as Taylor Flint ripped down there by Zornoza. McKenna Morris is a left back today. Courtney Peterson at center back with Ellie Jean. And that's because Aaron Wright is out with a hip injury.
Well, when we talk to Jimmy Coonrotz, he always gives us a fun fact. And he said 90% of Racing Louisville's goal kicks, they go long. Well, you got to be ready for this then. And you know who is ready? Mandy McGlynn comes off her line. Look at the focus there. Spreads wide, ends up taking the ball right against her chest. But that would have been the moment there for Racing Louisville. 1v1, Kayla Fisher. These are the moments where Bev Yanez told us this week, you know, you don't drop points late if you take care of business during the game. You know, the points late and dropping them is a symptom of the actual problem that is happening with this group. And their XG is high. They're creating a lot, but they're not finishing enough. And if you want to be top 8, top 4 team in this league, you've got to finish 2 goals a game.
Well, against Seattle, Louisville's XG was 2.56. They didn't score.
Yeah, in that first half when we were on the call, Maura, there were 3 point-blank chances, and credit to Claudia Dickey for making the saves, but you've got to put at least one of those big chances away if you're Racing.
Now this match is brought to you by Tide, the official laundry care partner of the NWSL. McGlynn, Fisher out in front. Del Fava. Thompson. Well, the home team has won all 3 of the previous meetings between these two sides. Fisher evading the defense. The push to Ellie Jean, who's now started 18 games at center back for Louisville this year. Tejada. Zornoza. Engineers through the midfield. Lovely pass to Lacasse. On the wing, the Canadian. Enters the 18, shoots with her right, and Bloomer denies.
That's one of the things that you can see already Utah Royals have identified as Janine Sonis playing tucked in slightly. So when Racing is retreating, her positioning is starting a little too central, so there's space for Chloe Lacasse with her pace especially to exploit in behind Sonis. When you have a player like Claudia Zornoza with one of the best left feet in this league, she is just putting it on a dime there over top the back line. A lot of chances coming from that space.
Well, Chloe Lacasse returned from an ACL tear in early August. Tore her ACL at the end of the 2024 season. Jean Bloomer. Solorzano. The Guatemalan.
Oh, good job.
Takes her space. And Flint clears.
Just through these first 20 minutes, Maura, to me, the team that wins this game is a team that can play out of the press the best. And it's not just that first ball. It's are you going to win the second ball or even the third ball, keep possession through? Are you going to build in moments, or are you just going to go long? And right now, there have been times where both teams, Louisville in moments regaining high up on the field. Here, Utah, it's been a couple of regains high up to keep pressure on this Racing back line. These are two of the best pressing teams in the league. I think that's going to be the key for these teams, is how they build out of that and play through it.
Jordan Bloomer picks it up here for Louisville. He's been the starting keeper now for 15 straight with Racing since Katie Lund went down with a season-ending hip injury. Bloomer has been with the club since 2022. Made 2 penalty saves against Orlando in one match earlier this year, then another against Portland. Bloomer might be facing a challenge here. Mina Tanaka to Thompson. Surveys, steps into the 18. Thompson cut off by Flint. Tanaka plays it back. Zornoza fires, and she's high.
Don't cross in front of me. Stay out.
Great build up by Utah and getting numbers for the patience from Tanaka to just wait for the play to develop, bring in Thompson. And now look, there's 4 runners in the box, 4 options, but a little stagnant. I think in those moments, can they create a little bit more for Thompson? Don't mind Zornoza trying from that distance, especially with her left foot.
Well, Coonrods has to be pleased with this start for Utah. Mina Tanaka with a gorgeous goal in the opening 15 minutes of this match. And the Royals have the lead at home. And for Utah, of their 3 wins, 2 of them have come at America First Field. Sears. And offside the call.
Well, you think Utah knows that Louisville wants to go long? It's multiple offsides now, 4 or 5 within this first 25 minutes. And it's good awareness from the back line of the Royals to stick together. And look at, they're pretty high here, but it's the leadership of Del Fava and Real, and then the awareness of the outside backs to stick with those center backs, because that's your responsibility. You want those center backs to determine where the line is, and you have to make sure you're on cue with that.
Utah has allowed 4 goals in the last 7 games since the summer break.
Yeah.
Only Kansas City, who's in first place in the NWSL, has allowed less.
And it doesn't surprise me that in that time, they've gotten Kaylee Real back. This is a player who, in her 84th appearance here, but has played in many different games across NWSL.
And around Solorzano, Tanaka going for it again. Solorzano shoots. And just can't finish there. She's been waiting for that first NWSL goal.
And Kunratz was telling us everybody's cheering for Solorzano to find that goal. They're ready for her to put the ball in the back of the net, and really good for her here to keep herself alive in that little pocket of space. And they're checking to see if there's contact here with Borges and Tanaka for a potential penalty. And I don't see any on that replay. But the VAR has multiple angles.
And it's not a penalty. VAR agrees. Sonis. Stepping to Thompson for Utah.
I was just going back to my comment about Real before that last Utah attack, and we'll see if I get it in here. She came in, there was a lot of rotation in that back line for Utah, and she stabilized so much for them with her leadership.
Monahan off her left foot on the service through the air, drops past Lacasse. Just keep rhyming with her. Well, to your point, Kaylee Real, she comes back the 3rd of August, and that's when things start to turn around for this Utah team.
It's right at the same time, and just the partnership between her and Del Fava, there's a stability there. There's a good duality of Del Fava's speed and recovery, Real's awareness of if there's pressure on the ball, should we drop, should we stay, hold our lines. I feel like those two communicate well, and it's just added a balance and really allowed other players to play in positions around them, like Tejada's pushing up into the midfield now.
Borges, Flint, from distance, McGlynn, no problem.
Good job by Borges to come into the channel over here and make it difficult for those 2 6s to track her. And now look at how wide Louisville's build is. It's Borges on one side, Taylor Flint all the way over, almost on the opposite side of the 18, trying to make it difficult for Utah to press them in those moments by making the spaces really big.
Koss picking up speed off the cross. Well, McGlynn saying quicker switch here for Utah. Sears. Lacasse defending. Borges, the Brazilian. Sears in her 2nd year with this Louisville club. Very good. Robino doing well. That's a fun matchup.
Yeah, very different in the way these two play the game. Sears, so speedy. Robino has this savviness about her. But you give Emma Sears one too many chances, right? She'll make you pay. I think right now it's been difficult for her, Fisher, and even Haas on the far side with their timing. They just keep running themselves offside. So they want to run into that space in behind this back line, just haven't found that correct timing yet.
McGlynn. Solorzano through the air. Sonis gets a touch on it. Lifted for Lacasse. Sonis
clutching her ankle, looking uncomfortable. Joined this club after being traded from Portland in August of 2024. 117 appearances in her NWSL career. Has a team-high 4 assists.
And 99 crosses, so she better have 4 assists, right?
Well, she's second in the NWSL in completed crosses. And actually, Louisville has 3 of the top 6, right, NWSL in that category.
I think that shows you, too, they're getting into the really good positions. They're just not scoring the goals that they should be, what they've been generating in attack.
Lacasse, Zornoza, those two combining, off the cross, leaping for it, Bloomer.
I like that idea, though, from Bloomer to try to go quickly, because Utah is, when they have possession, they're throwing numbers forward, and they're getting pretty aggressive in their attacking structure. So there are going to be chances where they can go quickly from the hands of Bloomer.
Now McGlynn just waiting for some pressure. Roll down to Kaylee Reel. Shield winner with San Diego in 2023. Tonis on the steal. Borges. Lofts it up to Sears. Sears off the cross. And it will stay with Racing in the final third. Robino on the takeaway. Solorzano. Jean slows her. Lacasse gets tangled up with Flint. On the ground, stands up, has the ball. Thompson moves it centrally. Now possesses here for Utah. Slips that to Solorzano, a little touch, not on the same page with Tanaka. A goal scorer in this one for Utah. And it's nearly won back, now fully won back by Utah. For the Royals, their last loss August 8th. It's a 1-0 loss to Kansas City.
And Louisville looks like they're man-to-man marking centrally. So if I'm one of the midfielders, this is exactly what I'm trying to do. Just drag my defender out of the space so you can get more of a direct line to the a direct pass to the front line. There, Monahan ends up getting fouled. But even there, if Monahan checks into the space created from the midfielders, can Solorzano get in beyond? Because if the defenders are going to follow them all over the field, there is going to be space created from just an unselfish run, and you have to recognize how you can punish a team in those moments.
Zornoza on the free kick for the Royals. Off her left foot, through the air, Lacasse. And Flint gets in front of that. She's second in the NWSL in aerial duels. Taylor Flint.
Back shoulder each. Okay, backside.
Thompson. Head-to-head with Morris.
You can hear Jordan Bloomer saying, look around, look around. And if I was a goalkeeper with this Racing team, it'd be exactly what I would be saying, because you're trying to keep them focused. Yes, it's about right now giving up goals late in the game for this Racing team. It also starts here, keeping the focus in key moments to make sure you're not giving up silly goals. You keep this lead or this deficit within one, defend well, gain some confidence from that defensive structure, and then that voice becomes really calming and informative in the back line. I like that leadership from her.
Heavy touch there from Fisher. Robino. Fisher regains for Louisville.
Oh, that was a great tackle. Fisher does a lot of good things right here. She slows up the play, looks to just go around the corner. And Robino defending so well, keeps her feet. Ends up poking it away.
Some speed here off the crossbar from Borges. Morris.
Whoa.
And it's deflected out.
Wow. Whoa. Well, Utah's back line, because of the threats of the players up front, are dropping. Look how quickly they drop. So nobody comes to step to Borges, and you're not really expecting her to shoot from there, but she nearly dips it up and over Mandy McGlynn. Great contact here from Borges. Good defending in the end to just usher it out of bounds for a corner kick. Utah can reset. But Racing is eager to get the equalizer.
Borges does not have a goal in the run of play this year. She does have a penalty.
Hey, I just spoke to you, Ina.
Oh, I heard that one.
Yeah.
Aldrich, our center referee, with some stern words. Off the corner from Morris. And a pile up. Borges goes down, Solorzano goes down, and the ball untouched.
Just after that warning by Lauren Aldrich, it's Solorzano and Borges here in the back, and they're both grabbing each other, and it looks like in the end Borges is trying to initiate the contact, get something out of Solorzano. I don't think there'll be anything in this, but the landing did look a little hard there on Ari Borges. Here's one more look, just on the right side of your screen, you can see Borges start to go down. Because of where it was, Maura, they're checking this, making sure that there wasn't too much foul play there from Solorzano, but yeah, I think this is gonna get cleared pretty quickly.
Well, the check is complete there. And just a throw for the Royals in the lead at home. Tanaka. Solorzano. Zornoza. Plays out to Monahan, who fights for it. Lacasse. Wanting to get the step on Jean, who's steady. Well, Ellie Jean just had a couple of appearances last year with Racing Louisville. Now she's a starter. Thompson from distance. Thompson tucks it in the corner. And Utah with a 2-0 lead. It's her first goal in the NWSL.
Well, if you're going to score a first goal, it might as well make it something special, and it's Tanaka who orchestrates all of this, finds the ball in the pocket and beyond Flint, and then recognizes their space to push Yanni Thompson higher up on the field, so she leads her into that space. Great first touch from Thompson, and then this is just a worm burner going across the face of goal, zipping right before it gets to Bloomer, and it just pops up and over her arm. What a shot by Thompson.
This is pretty similar to the Houston game last week on Sunday. Early goal for Utah, and then a late first half goal for the Royals to provide some cushion going into the break. It's hard to believe this is the Utah team that we saw earlier in the season. Is playing with so much confidence.
Yeah. And we said that last year too, Maura, at the end of the year. It's now for Utah, yes, finishing this year strong and honestly becoming the spoilers. Making sure it's about them, but you know, how much can they stir the pot here in NWSL towards the end of the season? But in year 3, it has to be a complete season. You know, they've now learned their lesson through 2 difficult years in expansion. And they've got some good pieces. I feel like, too, they've focused on the defensive side of things and how they're defending. It's brought a new level of fitness to this group. And they've also been able to regain the ball high up in the field and get numbers forward. Like, that whole attack starts because Zornoza is in a wide pocket. She regains the ball and she continues with the player she has in front of her.
Sonis Robino wins it back here for the Royals. Lacasse. And a corner kick coming. Well, this match is brought to you by Tide, the official laundry care partner of the NWSL. Lacasse on this corner kick for the Royals, looking for goal number 3 in this first half. Play to the far post. Flint redirects. Robino shoots, and it bounces wide. No, Flint and Tejada going at it again in the circle. Borges. Too quick. Morris. For Fisher, McGlynn. Now the keeper for Utah making the snag. Well, if you're Louisville, this has been a frustrating day so far. It's been a difficult, emotionally draining week. Also missing some really big pieces from this roster tonight. Monahan in transition. Solorzano. Paige Monahan is down right now. Clutching her leg, and we'll get a whistle to check on Paige Monahan. Well, missed time with a foot injury earlier this year. Looks to be in a lot of pain.
She starts this with a really smart run in behind the back line. Is going to try to get the second ball here. Looks like Flint just clips her right above her shoe. It has been a tough season for Monahan. Right when she got back, we got to talk to her, and she was so grateful that she got to get back on the field. But this will be a good time right now, Maura, for Racing Louisville to adjust, reset themselves, because as you just mentioned, they're missing a couple of big players, right? Not just Savannah DeMello, who leads this team with fouls. What's the word? One.
Yes.
I was going to say conceded, and that did not sound right in my brain. Fouls 1. And this Louisville team does a really good job on set pieces. And so they rely on those types of situations to get momentum going in the first half, in the attacking half. And then they're also without Erin Wright. And I don't think that can be understated either, because Erin Wright is the leader of the back line. She keeps their line together. Now you're switching things up, bringing Peterson centrally, Morris as an outside back. And where have the goals come from Utah? On that right side for Utah, the left side for Racing Louisville. And that doesn't surprise me with the absence of Wright and the shift that they have had to proceed with here in this game.
Oh, Wright, the captain for this Louisville team. She's started nearly 200 games in her NWSL career. Only 7 players have passed 200 matches, and she's approaching that. Certainly missed right now for Louisville. And Monahan appears to be all right. She steps off the pitch. Seems like she'll be able to continue. A little bit of a smile there for the 28-year-old. Drop to Zornoza. Lacasse. Real. Del Fava. Solorzano holds it up. 3 defenders swarm.
See, that's a moment. If Solorzano does that and brings Jean all the way into the midfield, can it be Tanaka who runs in beyond, or Lacasse who runs in beyond? Because there's space there to be had for Utah.
Now Borges frustrated, but it's Utah possession. Now Monahan steps back on the pitch for the Royals. Well, it's been Utah with all the set pieces in this game. Zornoza, long range. 4 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Zornoza, Tanaka through the air. And before that, we got a foul. Well, on Saturday, Ion's doubleheader gets started from Kansas City as Golden Boot contender Temwa Chewinga and the current host, the Seattle Reign, followed by Sam Coffey and the Portland Thorns taking on the San Diego Wave. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Ion. I believe all those teams are above the playoff line at the moment.
And Kansas City with the ability to win the Shield. Ion sending out
In September.
in September.
Pretty wild.
In summer, technically, still.
Yes, technically. What is it, the 21st?
Yeah. We'll say summertime.
I got my pumpkins out. It's
Oh,
fall to
come
me.
on.
Fisher. Off the cross. No, Benvinez trying to quickly toss this to Sonis. But a warning. And that warning for Lacasse. Borges off her head. Real gets the edge. Tanaka has a goal and assist today.
Pretty good touch right there, too.
Oh yeah. Thompson, who also has a goal today, surging forward against O'Kane, showing her speed, runs into Morris, twirls around. Monahan. Lacasse off her left foot. Chloe Lacasse. Go off Utah. 3-0 in the first half for the Royals. And it's the first goal for the Canadian this year.
Well, this is exactly what they want to see here in Utah. And Yanni Thompson has been everywhere. She keeps this alive. And then there's a little bit of space to get Lacasse one-on-one with her Canadian teammate. And all she needs is a half a yard. That little peep of daylight to get her shot off with her left foot. Goes across the face of Bloomer, straight into the back of the net. And when that left her foot, she knew. She knew that was going in. Big time celebration from the Utah Royals and a great third goal in the first half. This team could not score goals in the first half of the season. They have 3 goals in the first half of this game.
Well, an unbelievable turn of events here for the Royals. 3 different goal scorers in this one. 2 getting their first goals of the year in Lacasse and Thompson. And they said, we'll just do one better than that Houston game.
Yeah.
Sears. Given to Del Fava. Still not out of the woods, Louisville, in this first half. They have a lot to discuss. Real. Just shades it out of play. Gets a bump there from Fisher. Well, Utah, 15 of their 20 goals scored are in the first half. Well, Chloe Lacasse was involved in the only other game in which Utah has scored 3 goals in the first half. She had a hat trick against Seattle, October 13th, 2024. That was right before her injury.
I remember that game. She had just come to the league from Arsenal. There was some real promise that she could help this Utah team. We're on the upward trajectory.
Well, that's going to take us to the end of the first half. And what a first half it has been for the home side. 3-0 lead for Utah over Louisville.
Yeah, great. Honestly, they had to weather a little bit of a storm at the beginning of the game because Louisville was pressing, regaining the ball high up on the field, gets the goal called back. But then after that goal got called back, it felt like this is a different Royals team. They found themselves in the attacking half, keeping possession, regaining possession, setting the tone when it comes to how the game was played. And find 3 different goals, all of them spectacular in their own way.
Crowd's loving it. You could see how much it means to Utah, too. Just the reactions, the smiles on the faces of these players as they go back into the dressing room. And for Louisville, a bit of a different story right now. They have a big hill to climb in this second half. Well, we are joined by Yanni Thompson, who scored her first NWSL goal. What a first half for your side. Let's talk about your goal. You just tuck it in the corner. What did you see on that opportunity?
I mean, I'm just playing on a great team. They play me good balls, and that was excellent ball for me. And yeah, so nice to score my first goal.
Yanni, not only did you guys score once, you get 3 in that first half, but this Racing Louisville team presses high. You can expect them to come after you in the second half. What do you guys have to do to keep this 3 points in the bag here through the second 45?
I mean, now it's like they will come with something, I think, because they're down 3-0. And it has been an excellent first half for us, but now we have to manage that second half, something we haven't been good at. So, yeah, we just have to keep going.
Thanks, Yanni.
You're welcome.
Well, Utah feeling good right now, more than good. Up 3-0 after 45 minutes of play against Racing Louisville. We'll take a break and come back after this with more from America First Field, the halftime report on the other side. Well, it's a great vibe at America First Field. Some halftime entertainment. Absolutely love it. 3-0 to score. Utah up on Racing Louisville. And this is the beginning of a busy NWSL weekend. This was the beginning. Angel City and Washington on Thursday night.
Yeah, and they set the tone pretty high because it was a thriller. Trinity Rodman earns the penalty, ends up getting it saved, but then pushes it away in the back of the net. And then within 2 minutes, it was Angel City on the other side. Evelyn Shores with her first goal in NWSL. Then second half, Savvy Keene loved the forced own goal for her squad. It was Croy Bethune with the bunnies, she said. She's got hops. Ends up drawing it late in the game.
Orlando and North Carolina earlier today.
And look at this, late in the game, stoppage time. Shinomi from deep runs the distance to just put this away. Gets through with a little help from a deflection. Oh, you gotta love that smile from Shinomi.
Orlando's struggling right now.
Yeah.
Houston and Chicago. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, Yasmin Ryan needs to be the star of this team. When she does like things like that, you expect her to continue in that way. It ends up late in the game. Houston gets a penalty from a handball. Alyssa Nair says no. Big save from her, but it doesn't matter in the end. 1-0 Houston.
Oh, here's the rest of the schedule for the weekend. Kansas City, a chance to win the Shield tomorrow, and then Portland and San Diego later on Ion. And the weekend ends with Bay and Gotham on ESPN2. We'll take a break here in Sandy, Utah. Again, a 3-0 lead for the home side against Racing Louisville. Utah
gave us a little bit of magic, and then we get our first assist of this NWSL season, finding Thompson on the far side, perfectly placed by Yanni Thompson, getting to the attack to help this Royals team. Then they weren't done there, Maura. 45+3. Thompson's a part of it yet again, but the Monahan doing a good job of being aware that there was space to find Lacasse. She gets that little bit of distance away from Sonis here. This is going to be the right angle. That's not a big window. But if you're a player like Lacasse and you have that left foot, that's all you need to put it in the back of the net.
Well, players in gold feeling pretty good. We'll take a break. Second half on the other side between the Utah Royals and Racing Louisville.
This is going to all work out. Thanks, future me.
Guys, people may not know, villains put this game in jeopardy tonight, but Carter Lenley, aka Spider-Man Mouse Knight, and his team of Avengers jumped into action to save the city and his grandma. Carter has Menkes disease, which makes it difficult for his body to process copper. But thanks to the Royals and Make-A-Wish Utah, tonight he got to live out his dream of playing the hero he's always been. Jordan.
Oh, this was great. We were all standing in the control room, making sure we watched this and cheering for Spider-Man Mouse Knight. What a superhero.
And some of Spider-Man Mouse Knight seems to have rubbed off on this Utah Royals squad.
Yeah.
Up 3-0 as we get ready to start the second half. Jordan Bloomer, off kick here for Racing Louisville. America First Field, Sandy, Utah, alongside Jordan Angeli. I'm Maura Sheridan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Sarah Weber has entered the game for Louisville. Kayla Fisher out. Weber has been starting for Bev Yanez and Racing. Started before this match, 8 of the last 10. Here's Weber. And she scored the game winner the last time these two teams played in the 85th minute. Weber did. Flint against Tanaka.
A good decision there from Thompson to clear that ball over the sideline because it was deflected. It would have been a corner kick from Louisville, and judging by what they did in that first half with their corner kick, they can be deadly on those.
Sonis fires. And the crowd here in Utah. Well, Bev Yanez looking on. 2 straight losses for Racing Louisville. They haven't done that since April of this year. And the thing is, the table's so tight in the middle. This trend cannot continue for Racing Louisville.
No, it was a different trend until this game where they gave up all the goals in the first half and will have to claw their way back in it. But typically it's been late in games. They've had 5 of the last 6 games with game-changing goals in the last 90 plus. That's been 10 points difference, Maura. So they've either been at a draw and dropped 2 points because they've given up a goal and lost the game, or been in a situation where they've been winning and dropped 2 points to then a draw. And 10 points for Bev Yanez and this Louisville team puts them in 3rd in the NWSL standings right now. And they have been so good, and now they have to deal with this difficulty of this week, the emotions that come with it. I think that's what we saw a little bit in the first half, just the having to refocus in those moments when the game does change, a little slow to react from Louisville.
Morris. Tanaka jumps on it. Well, also this team played Tuesday. Then they had to travel here. And the plan was to get to Utah 2 days earlier than they actually did. Tejada, Morris fighting for possession. McGlynn. Lacasse, Tanaka, Solorzano. In a foot race with Peterson. And before that, a foul called. Sonis is down right now for Louisville.
Looks like Sonis got a leg here in the side of her body. Oh, it ends up being just a hip there. But honestly, a little confused why the play was stopped in that moment. And I think that's what Solorzano is speaking with Aldrich about, because Solorzano was off to the races.
And it's dropped to Jean and Sonis.
When you look at the score sheets and all the different stats, Solorzano's not going to pop up for Utah, right? She hasn't scored a goal, but her work rate in setting the high press for Utah has been instrumental to them, regaining the ball high on the field, dictating which space it's going to be pressed into.
Weber to Sears in the corner against Kaylee Reel. And it's pulled back here, playing the advantage. Louisville. And finally a set piece in a dangerous spot for Racing. Few and far between in that first half, and this is where they do a lot of damage.
And what we've also seen McKenna Morris do when she was at Washington is set the ball into a dangerous area with the right trajectory, so it's easy for her teammates to get onto the end of it. She's got the best target there in Taylor Flint.
It's Peterson to Sonis. Off the service, header, no. Oh, the look there for Weber.
I don't think Weber saw Borges, because look at where Borges starts from in front of her and then just button hooks all the way back beyond. And it's hard to know the communication in the moment until afterwards, but is Borges telling Weber to leave it? Because she's wide open. She's clearly the easier option to get something on frame. That's one of the things you can't do, is start to let that frustration creep in these moments where you need goals and you need your team to stick together.
Powering up the flank, Lacasse against Sonis. And it's Louisville ball.
Hard to see what was called originally here. Looks like a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there. I think that's the frustration that Lacasse has with the call being on her.
Those two teammates on the Canadian national team.
Not often going at each other, though, because Janine Sonis plays in a higher position on that team. Typically. I don't know now. See what Casey Stoney's got in store for her.
Well, Sonis has been playing well at that right back spot. So you wonder what Bev Yanez will even do now that Lauren Millay is healthy. Lauren Millay back from a shoulder injury, available on the bench tonight as Sears gets tripped up. Well, Tanaka saying she didn't touch her. And a yellow card coming for Mina Tanaka. Looks like this might be for Descent.
It's a good dribble here from Sears, though, across the face. And Tanaka just reaches in, ends up getting the ball, and I think that's the frustration. She hits the ball, and then it's Sears' leg that hits Tanaka. It's just getting a little out of hand here. I think too many whistles are getting blown. It doesn't need to be this. I don't think there's a foul there. If anything, Tanaka got fouled. She gets kicked in the back of her leg.
And here comes a... Oh, was that a fake out with a card? Now Aldrich is speaking to VAR. And now we're good to go. Nelsonis, Peterson, and Aldrich is once again stopping play. Speaking to Borges and Tejada. Monahan involved as well. Sonis off her right foot, drives out low. And it's against Racing.
There's just too many whistles, in my opinion. The first half of this game had a good rhythm about it. Were there fouls? Yes, but right now it's just so choppy. Both teams, you can sense the frustration that they have in those moments when the whistle is blown.
Now McGlynn grabs. Mandy McGlynn, a couple of caps with the U.S. Women's National Team. 4 shutouts this year with Utah. Dealing with Weber. Real. Taken back by Sears. Motors forward. Tanaka. Muscles are off the ball. Tumbling down Tanaka. She's got some fire today, Mina Tanaka.
And one of the things I love is Tanaka has 27 touches. There were times in this year where we saw Tanaka with 27 touches through the entire game. There's still a big piece of this game left to be played, and she's so active. I asked Kunratz about that. Is it just me, or does she seem like she's finding better spots? And she said she's covering more distance too, covering almost 35% more distance every single game. So that's why you're seeing her get on the ball more often, help dictate the play for Utah.
Tejada aggressive there. Morris. Now Mina Tanaka staple with the Japanese national team, Olympics, World Cups. And it was the signing of Mina Tanaka and Chloe Lacasse that started to turn the tide for this Utah side in 2024. But they just haven't been fully healthy here in 2025 as Lacasse collides there with Sears. And both players down. Sonis checking on her teammate. We'll see this again.
Yeah, and that's a difficult challenge there. Just on the inside of both of their knees.
And a yellow card being shown
to Emma Sears.
Emma Sears for Descent. Oh, for a reckless tackle. So we've seen 2 quick yellows. One for Tanaka, one for Emma Sears. Thompson. Peterson back defensively. From Thompson. Now Flint always getting in front of those. Utah about to make its first sub. St. George, Bianca St. George in. Solorzano comes out. Bianca St. George, 3 goals this year for this Utah side. It's their 6th straight game off the bench for the Royals. Good night for Solorzano. And you bring in just some fresh legs there from the St. George. She'll give you that same kind of bite and energy to start the line of press for the Royals. Well, we have some contact. Player down in the circle. Looks like it's Tanaka for the Royals. The training staff's gonna come out. Well, long ball here, and Tanaka ends up landing awkwardly, or almost looked like she was already grabbing her backside before she fell. Well, Utah doesn't want to lose her with what she's contributed today, but they do have some wiggle room in this game, up 3-0. The scoring needs to start now for Racing Louisville. And Tanaka's up. Well, this Racing team has scored 25 goals this year. That's 9th in the NWSL. Trying to get something going the final half an hour of this match. As Tanaka walks off, gets some attention from the training staff. A reminder that the 2025 NWSL Championship will be held at PayPal Park in San Jose, California. The NWSL Championship will air live in primetime on CBS on Saturday, November 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Tickets are on sale now and available on Ticketmaster. More details on Championship Week will be announced at a later date. For more info, please visit nwslsoccer.com. Monahan swerves, was trying to combine with Thompson. Weber, Ella Haas taking off, bends it around to Sears. Emma Sears collects, moves to her left. Sears shoots and is wide. That was the opportunity. And before this chance, it's one big chance created in the entire game from Louisville. It's so uncharacteristic of them. But here in quick transition, it's 2 passes. They find Sears and beyond. And great defending, because you want to bring her, you want to take away her right foot, bring her back to her left, and just hope that she doesn't get it on frame. And that's exactly what happens here. Unfortunate for Sears. But if you're Louisville, you're feeling a little bit more confident about that. Being more aggressive, quicker in those moments when they do win back possession in their own half to utilize the space in behind Utah. Loomer gets it out in the nick of time. She slams in a Monahan.
Yep, let's go. Let's go. We're up here. We're up here.
Well, just an unsteady day for Racing Louisville. There's time. McGlynn. Robino. Being pestered by Sonis. Tanaka. Del Fava on the swing to Thompson. Long strides ahead. She has a goal in this game, Yanni Thompson. from St. George. Tap to Monahan, the captain for the Royals. Off the turn, Tejada.
And there's just so many problems created on this near side because Thompson will pull away McKenna Morris, and then that makes Courtney Peterson stretch out wide, and there's a big gap for Utah to be able to occupy centrally.
Robino. Tanaka. And Flint draws a foul. Tanaka frustrated. Flint is still down right now. And Tanaka is on a yellow.
A soft yellow. This more of a foul here than the one that she had before. She's just stretching and reaching to try to get the ball before Flint.
Sears off her head. Tanaka.
Yeah, but those are the moments right there that Louisville typically win. They're pressing and they win that second ball into the midfield. Just slightly slow. Get a little too stretched vertically between their lines so they can't pick up the second ball that they create in that turnover situation.
Borges tangled up with Tejada.
A little Brazilian flair there from Borges. Trying to flick it around one side and she's trying to just cool herself down, calm herself down. As this ball comes in outside the boot, whoop. Looking to go around the opposite side to regain the ball.
O'Kane trying to get around Reel, and she stumbles out of play.
Over the top, not much space there, but O'Kane does her best. And as the minutes tick away, Racing seems to be a little bit more desperate to go direct, which I'm not saying they shouldn't go direct. They are one of the best teams at those quick transition goals. But can they play a little bit more in the seams? If Utah drops when they try to stretch the back line, where's Borges? Where's O'Kane? Where's Taylor Flint? Can you connect through them and keep possession a little bit more to bring more numbers into the attack?
Monahan slips to Thompson. Thompson fires. That was close to her first goal. Just a couple inches off.
It would have been a brace that was like carbon copied. Same exact shot as before, and she's coming from the bottom of your screen. Great run from her, a little slow on the pass from Monahan, so it slows her up. Doesn't quite have the angle that she would have liked, but it doesn't miss by much.
Well, Louisville has not been shut out in back-to-back games this season. In a big hole right now.
Yeah, and I feel like the hard thing is, Maura, they've been through a really difficult week. It was a hard week for you and I. We were on the game, and mentally, we have been exhausted this week. It has been a lot to have to process, and so I can only imagine what that feels like to somebody who is really close with Savannah DeMello, who witnessed that, is wanting to make sure she's okay and thinking about her a lot. And it feels like that exhaustion is playing out a little bit in this game, and what we're seeing from Racing Louisville, a little slow to things, just not quite their normal selves, and you can't blame them.
Not at all. And Savannah's the type of player on this team that I think this group would turn to.
Yes.
In these times, and right now they're just concerned about her. And DeMello is stable right now. It's a lot to handle in such a short period of time. It's unfortunate that they have a Friday game following all of this as well. Racing Louisville played on Tuesday. after the match was abandoned on Sunday. Just a half, but still to go through all the motions like it was a full game. Weber to Sears. Sears wants a second chance, and she tallies her 8th goal this year.
Yeah, great goal, but go get the ball, because now Racing found that first goal. That's what they needed, that spark. And it's through a long ball, goal kick. They challenge for the first one, and then it's Weber holding the ball up, plays it really delicately into the space so Sears can keep a full head of steam, keep the ball on her right foot, and nearly blast it through the back of the net. I think on the near side, it's Haas who gets the ball, brings it to half field, and says, let's go again. We need 2 more.
Oh, it makes things interesting. Looks like a couple subs coming in for Bevionez and Racing Louisville. O'Kane's going to come out. DeGrande comes in. And then McKenna Morris is going to come out. And Malay comes in. So interested to see how this shifts things defensively for Racing Louisville.
Yeah. I imagine Sonis goes up front and they bring in Ella Haas to this outside left back position. No, it's actually Sonis at the left back. Haas is going to stay at the left winger. But good to see Lauren Malay back out on the field. Had an upper body injury at the Women's Cup this summer. And before that had started over 100, or had been played in over 100 games for Louisville. So you bring in some of that experience, especially now when you're chasing the game. Can't you get into the attack and help create for Louisville?
Malay, the all-time appearance leader for Louisville. She started the first ever game for Racing in April of 2021. Things getting a little chippy here with 20 minutes to go and a 2-goal lead for Utah.
And DeGrande right in the game. Pulls a little bit on Tanaka. It's Flint who comes in at the end and actually gets the yellow card.
Well, it seems like DeGrande's going to get that yellow card.
And here was the yellow card. It's that tug right there from DeGrande. And I think the referee was trying to see if there was an advantage to be played. But since it was restricting a promising attack, ends up being a yellow on DeGrande. And Utah restarted the game. It's good work by Tanaka, just getting on the ball, trying to get a hold of it after giving up that last goal.
Tanaka gets a step on Flint. Lacasse holds up against Malay. Tanaka. Lacasse. Now switching the point of attack here. Del Fava and Real. Thompson. Stolen by Sonis. Borges. A good try there by St. George's. Not timed well. Off the hop to Haas. Sprinting to McGlynn. That's a big boot to Peterson. Sonis through the air. Weber off her head. Sears crashing in past McGlynn. Emma Sears. And it's too far out of reach. And now Mandy McGlynn is down.
This is better from Louisville, just being
more aggressive with their first ball in. Nice flick from Weber. And then this is what Emma Sears has done. Typically it's in 1v1 situations with an outside back. She just finds a way to maneuver around them, get a touch. Too long in the end to make anything happen out of it.
No, Mandy McGlynn is getting stretched right now. No, Mia Justice is the backup keeper for Utah just in case. And Jimmy Coonrotz talks to his side. They don't want to let this 3-goal lead that they had at halftime slip away. Just saw Emma Sears put Racing Louisville on the board in the second half. Coonrotz is the youngest NWSL coach, just 30 years old. Well, here are the standings in the NWSL. Racing live right now is in 10th place, and Utah would move to 13th. But 8 teams make the postseason in the NWSL, and you can see just how close Racing is.
Racing is very close, but also this Utah team has found a way. It's going to be difficult for them to make the playoffs, but even just to pull points away from teams right on the playoff line, that's what I would be excited about.
I think also notable that Houston and North Carolina both won tonight, right? And that's who's in front of them. So Brecken Mazingo and Amani Dorsey enter this game for the Royals. Mazingo with 3 goals this year. Lacasse and Paige Monahan come out of this game. Now this match is brought to you by Tide, the official laundry care partner of the NWSL. Well, that's going to be against Weber. 15 minutes to go. Feels like there hasn't been a lot of action because there's been so many whistles.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about that. The first half was really entertaining. There was a good rhythm and flow about it. I felt like both teams had opportunities. Utah put theirs away, but in this second half, it has been so choppy.
Oh, Flint and Tanaka ran into each other. Flint is down, Tanaka's up. Tanaka's back defensively. Sears aggressive, and she gets stepped on there by Romano. And a yellow card to the outside back for Utah.
Well, this is all because of the dribbling of Sears. That touch right there where she gets in front of Romano, and it makes Romano have to make a decision. And so she just clips her legs, can't get out of the way of Sears, who's in an advanced position. I think both coaches feel the same way as Jimmy does right now. But by denying a promising attack, you get a yellow card. I'm fine with that one. But I think it's just been the chippy ones, the ones that are just soft, that make that one feel not as good.
Well, Coonrotz himself is 1 yellow card away from being suspended for the next game, so has to be a little bit careful here. Both Louisville and Utah have each conceded 8 goals in the final 15 minutes of matches this year.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance. So there's a bit of a delay here, and it is a set piece opportunity for Louisville. Oh, by the way, that's Romano's 5th yellow card. She's going to miss the next game for Utah.
Against Bay next weekend.
Sonis! McGlynn tracking and reel through the air. Not a foul called.
But that was that necessary to call a foul there? It didn't really look like there was enough. I think that's where these players are trying their best to create any kind of rhythm. But if you're Louisville, you're down 2 goals. You have to focus on what you can control, and it has to be your mentality right here. You have to stay focused on the game, not get wrapped up in what's going on off the ball. And get back to what you've done really well. The way that Louisville press is what has allowed them this season to set the tone, win the ball back high on the field, and create chances from it. Can they kickstart that here? They've got 15 minutes. There's still a chance to get a couple of goals and find an equalizer.
Jean. And hit Borges in the hand, or in the arm. Ari Borges.
Yeah, and it's given me flashbacks of the game in Portland where Ari Borges just let her emotions get a little bit too much of her. And I do feel like I understand her frustration there. It's typically the sleeve that is not a handball, and it looked like it hit her in the upper shoulder and where her sleeve was. But man, refocus, get back in this game, help your team find a way to get back in it.
Well, here's a good spot for a free kick.
It's been better for Utah, or excuse me, Racing in this second half. Created a couple of good big chances, scored one of them, and then done this. Put their bodies on the line, drawn fouls, allowed their target players to get in advantageous positions. Now it's just about putting one of these goals away.
Well, 10 minutes to go in this one. Racing attempting to make this a 1-goal game. Sonis off her right foot, curls it up. Janine Sonis! It is a 1-goal game. And the seasoned vet comes up big for Racing.
Yeah, she goes right back to the half. She said, we got to go one more time. And she just is catching McGlynn cheating there. Look at McGlynn's first step is to her right, and that sets her up for failure because then the ball curls to the far post. Great shot from Sonis. Excellent finish and awareness of how to beat Mandy McGlynn in that moment. Exactly what Racing Louisville needed.
So that's 9 goals allowed by Utah in the final 15 minutes. We're gonna restart this kick. McGlynn gets a yellow card.
For what? For kicking the ball off the kickoff? I'm getting frustrated and I'm not even playing. So the whistle happened right there, and I think McGlynn didn't have a quick enough reaction.
Sonis heads this down. Now the yellow card for time wasting against McGlynn. Well, Utah in a dangerous position now.
Yeah.
They're up 3-0 at the break. 2 goals from Sears and Sonis. And suddenly we have ourselves a game. Lauren Millay twirls. DeGrande. Sears. Millay on the underlapping run to Sears, looking for the cross. Zornoza. The other way for Utah. Mazingo. Well, this was a final the last time these two teams played, but it was flipped. It was Racing Louisville who won 3-2. There's still time. DeGrande. Sears. Sprinting 2. Controls now. Leading scorer for Racing. Rabano wins that fight. Mazingo. Sears doesn't give up. Regains for Louisville. Malay. Haas. Weber crashing in. DeGrande keeps it. Takes a shot. And it ricochets out of play, but it will be a corner kick for Racing.
What fight here from Louisville. They're getting that energy back. Tasting that this game and points here is within reach. This is what you want to see if you're Bevianez, the fight that they've had.
And get that mic out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, we saw Louisville score on a corner kick earlier today. It was called back because Ellie Jean was offside. See if they can replicate without the offside. Off the corner. Del Fava heads it down, drops for Weber off the volley. McGlynn stops, and Borges is down in the 6.
There was contact off the ball with Borges and St. George. And you can see here just the contact, maybe gotten her foot stepped on. Good work by Weber to keep it alive, get a shot on frame, because you're just hoping for some kind of deflection potentially to make it difficult for McGlynn.
Oh, Borges is jogging, but limping a little bit. Well, this match is brought to you by Tide, the official laundry care partner of the NWSL. Mazingo. Borges. Bracken Mazingo now, the second-year player, shoots and is off the mark. Bloomer hasn't actually seen much action come her way in the second half. Haas against Dorsey. Ella Haas, a true pile-up, and we play on. Well, Haas is rolling on the ground in some pain, and it's chipped from Flint to McGlynn.
Well, the thing that's difficult is this play was called as a foul just a couple seconds ago, and she ends up getting taken out. Sorry, fouled on by Tejada. I think Haas goes to ground a little too easy. But she's trying to do the right thing for her team there. Get a free kick. High in their own attacking third.
Mazingo, Zornoza. To close out the weekend, Rachel Kunananji and Bay FC welcome Roosevelt and Gotham tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. Excuse me. Oh, it is not quite. Sunday. 4 minutes if you're on the East Coast to being tomorrow. Offside on Sears.
This will be important for Racing, I think, a little bit more than Utah, because Racing's trying to get themselves back in that playoff picture after dropping today with those earlier games. Is who they're going to be in these situations. Minutes left, chasing a goal. They've been in the other side of it, right? The other half of the coin, where they've been trying to not allow a team to score against them. Now they have to go get a goal. They have to figure it out. So although this is not the place they would want to be, a good test here as to can they find the will? Is there a way? Who's going to step up? All things that I think Bev Yanez is curious about this Louisville squad.
Sonis, who scored on a free kick. Haas, still with energy against Dorsey, and it's a goal kick. Bethany Balser enters for Racing Louisville. Out is Ari Borges.
Wait for the cross the line.
Balser has not scored this year. This is her 7th appearance off the bench since returning from her mental health leave. She's 3rd all time in Seattle history in goals, 33.
And a good target, because there's been a lot of opportunities now with Louisville getting into the attack, crossing situations, set pieces. It's nice to have another attacker high up on the field who can be in those moments to meet the ball in front of net. Curious to see where she's going to play, if it's going to be. Yeah, it is her up front and just pushing Weber a little bit lower in the defense, or in the midfield, excuse me.
So Lacasse, Tanaka, Thompson, that's who scored for Utah in the first 45 minutes. It looked like things were going to be very bad for Racing Louisville to start the second half. And then get a goal from Emma Sears. Janine Sonis on the free kick. And suddenly Racing Louisville has a chance to at least walk away with a point. We have 9 minutes of stoppage time. As Ana Tejada exits, Donna Fuderer comes in. No rush for Tejada.
I really have enjoyed watching Tejada find her way back into the starting lineup. It has to do a lot with her work rate, but also the Spanish midfield with her and Zornoza. Those two have a really good understanding of each other. There's a familiarity about them. They can speak Spanish to each other on the field, and I think it shows with how they can connect with each other.
Peterson had to lay her body on the line for that one. Thompson dealing with Malay and Sonis. Well, the Royals looking to hold on. St. George in the corner. 4 players surround. Sonis wins out. There's a collision. It's Weber who's down in front of Bev Yanez. Excuse me, it's Bethany Balser. And a yellow card against Del Fava.
When Del Fava just puts her shoulder into Balser and sees that there is an opportunity in transition for Louisville. Utah with so many numbers high. Takes one for the team here in her 100th game in NWSL. And started every single game, played every single minute. Kate Del Fava for this Royals team this year.
Bloomer, the keeper for Racing. Into the 18, off the head of Flint, and untouched.
It's just, I don't think that's the right trajectory. If you're going to try to flick the ball on, try to play it more towards the middle of the field. So then if there is a flick, it's going towards goal. Runners can slash across Mandy McGlynn. Instead, the flick goes just straight out of bounds. So those little things that make a difference, especially when you're chasing a game, but also especially at this time of season when points are vital.
Well, Louisville has not scored in second half stoppage time this season. Tanaka, Flint.
Flint just hits that ball off of Tanaka. I think it looked worse for the crowd than it actually was.
It's just an awkward landing for Mina Tanaka. There have been 6 yellow cards in this second half.
That's it? It feels like more than that.
I didn't say fouls, I said yellow cards.
I know. It still has felt like more than that.
No, 5 minutes to go. Can Utah hang on? Would be win number 3 at home for the Royals. St. George looks around, trying to bend that to Mazingo. Thompson is twisting for the ball.
She wants a brace. She's tasted a little bit of what it's like to be a goal scorer. And she did say at halftime that they haven't been great in the second half, holding a lead. Well, a 4th goal would have really helped. She's trying to scorpion that just over top of her head with her heel. And so this has been a real test for Utah.
St. George is taking on Jean and DeGrande. This would be 3 wins in the last 6 for the Royals. Jean, Malay.
To put that in context, they had 1 win in the first 13 games.
Bolser hunting. Yeah, this Utah team, they're still at the bottom of the table. That's how badly things went, considering this unbeaten run, how badly things were going in the first part of the season. But this would be some redemption against Louisville the second time around. Here comes a corner for Racing. Flint, Footerer. And Footerer gets a warning. From Courtney Peterson. Searching for the equalizer, Racing Louisville. Flint header over the crossbar.
Well, that's the target you want to find. Ends up a tough tackle for Flint, but she finds the space. Back post, trying to go back across the face of the net. And just ends up hitting it off the top of her head.
And she's holding her back because that did not look comfortable when she fell.
Yeah. She definitely sacrifices her body every single game to make sure that she keeps up with winning those duels, with getting interceptions. winning tackles, aerial duels.
She candidate for midfielder of the year, your opinion?
Yeah, I don't see why not. And I think it's difficult right now in the run of form that Louisville has is you're going to put that into consideration, but she's been instrumental to what they've been able to do. She sets the tone. She has good range of passing. But I think Defender of the Year is going to be tough this year. There's been some really, Midfielder of the Year. There's been some really good midfielders. Taylor Flip being one of them.
Mazingo trying to kill some clock here for Utah. Stays with the Royals. No time for a final push, maybe for racing. Jean. St. George with some pressure. Bloomer. St. George and Bloomer collide. Pressure! Dorsey. It's taken out by Haas.
Jimmy's saying fourth. How much more time? They're past the 9 minutes, and I can't imagine there's too much left in this.
McGlynn on the free kick. And there's the final whistle. Utah holds on, a 3-2 win over Racing Louisville.
And you can see the smiles there from the Utah Royals. It's been a really good run of games for them, but also Jimmy Koenraerts knows what it feels like to be on the other end of things, because the Royals were a part of the Savvy King incident earlier this season. Has a lot of empathy for what is going on with Bev Yanez. But this Utah team has come out and just reinvented themselves in the second half of the season. Managed to get 3 goals in the first half, set the tone, and then held on to it through the second 45. That's a big win for them at home.
Well, Utah unbeaten in 6 straight matches. And for Racing, that's 3 straight losses. And the Royals playing spoiler. 3 goals for Utah in the first 45 minutes of this game. And then things get interesting in the second half. Racing Louisville with 2. And we had ourselves a game, but Utah walks away with 3 points. We'll break it down on the other side from Sandy. Stick with us.